Hello, my name is Kevin Quigley, and I am currently a freshman at Temple University majoring in marketing. I am one of 5 children raised in Glenmore, Pennsylvania, and the oldest of these siblings. I attended Downtown East High School in Exton, Pennsylvania, and was a member of the boys' soccer team from grades 9 through 12, being a co-captain my sophomore and senior seasons. I was also an honor student throughout all of my studies in classes like mathematics, science, history, English, and my intended major here at Temple, marketing. In addition, I held jobs at Dutch Village Soft Pretzels, a business that my dad started, Stadium Grill, Wawa, and most recently, a summer internship at Quest Diagnostics. At Dutch Village Soft Pretzels, I began to understand the business road at the young age of 14. I held this job to receive some extra money because I had always had to pay for my own possessions, and it helped me to understand the value of a dollar. This is one of the values my parents have instituted in me, and one I will most certainly instill in my own children. After this job, I landed a job with a family friend named Bob Batley, who was the entrepreneur of Stadium Grill. At this job, I understood at a young age what it took to be responsible. Not only did I have to be responsible myself for showing up to work prompt and enforcing the business code of the company, I also had to account for my coworkers, and if something was not getting done, I would have to tell them about it. I was also accountable for the customers because I dealt with the food and service, something that Stadium Grill and every other restaurant is graded on and will ultimately decide if people will return or not. After that, I got a job at the local Wawa, where I learned how to work quickly but effectively. Anyone who has ever been to a Wawa knows that there are very few times where it is not packed, and whenever I worked, it was usually packed. I had to talk with customers about why they were happy or unhappy about the store, communicate properly with these people as well as my own coworkers, and work towards a solution. This job has taught me about communication because it is such a key part of how Wawa is run, and it is seen in everything they do. Finally, the summer of 2012, before I went off to college, I worked with my dad at his job, Quest Diagnostics. Although I was not involved with much of the business aspects, I did gain an understanding of what a typical office looks like, how it is run, and what duties are performed daily. I worked around plenty of phone reps, and that was truly an eye-opener. That is something I do not want to be doing for the rest of my life, and has given me inspiration to achieve well in school with all of my studies. With all of these jobs, I feel I have gained an understanding of how the business world works, but I know I still have a lot to learn. In addition to holding all of these jobs on top of my assigned schoolwork, I had a fair amount of extracurricular activities, many of which I included in my college applications. Some of these activities include coaching my younger brother's rec league soccer team, being an altar server as well as an usher at my local parish church, St. Elizabeth's, and other things that I feel have made me the person I am today, a well-rounded individual. With all these attributes and jobs that have helped me gain an understanding of businesses and how they are conducted, I feel I can definitely be a top 20%er here at Temple and achieve my dreams. A significant event that has happened in my life was when I was voted co-captain of my high school soccer team as a senior with one of my best friends and someone who I have played with from a very young age. This was such an honor for me and something I will never forget for the rest of my life. Not only was I representing myself and my school, I was representing my family, friends, coaches, and everyone associated with me. At the beginning of the season, in my opinion, our team started off as a group of activists, but when we started losing games, there were many people that became bystanders and were just there to see out the rest of the season, which was very frustrating to me and something I did not take very lightly. However, I was still pleased with how my teammates regrouped at the end of the season and finished strong. I would consider myself a good leader and demanded the best from everyone, most notably myself. I feel that being a captain does not apply just to sports, but also in life. With whatever life brings, there needs to be someone to take charge, and there needs to be a leader involved. Being the leader of teammates and friends I have held my entire life has taught me that I can be in a position of leadership and tell people what needs to get done, even if it is not something they want to hear. I would like to consider myself a resident leader because I put everyone before myself, no matter if they were my best friend or someone I did not get along with. I feel that as a captain, I asserted my power fairly and did not show partiality to one teammate or another when dealing with arguments or whatever the case would have been. I also had a very good bond with all of my coaches where they would talk to me about how everyone is feeling, and if there were any problems, I could walk into his office with no hesitation. Another reason I feel I was a good leader and captain is because I did not think I was better than anyone else, because honestly, I was not. We had very good players and leaders, but when I first instituted my values, when being voted captain, everyone understood the role and did well with whatever the circumstances were. I also loved the pressure of being the leader and doing whatever I could to help my team win in soccer, and I know I can translate all these positive traits to whatever my profession may be in the future. Class, the thing I have taken away most is the chapter about motivation. Personally, I have always been a very motivated person and cannot stand lazy people. I like people that can think outside of the box and work towards a common goal, whatever the case may be. Everyone has a song they listen to, a movie they watch, or something else that can motivate and inspire them to do great things. I personally will never forget listening to the same music before every soccer game and getting mentally prepared. I have also learned what drives people, such as intrinsic and extrinsic motivation, as well as examples of types of environments that are successful when dealing with motivating employees. I have also learned the three needs theory, which is something that I have gone back and noticed as part of every group project that I have ever been involved in. The need for achievement, need for affiliation, and need for power are all components of motives that people need to be motivated. Another thing I have taken away from all the things we have learned thus far is communication, mostly because it pertains to everything I do, especially when it comes to working. Both connotation and denotation dictate my communication every day, and when I am either happy or sad, it is noticeable for the most part. I also incorporate physical gestures to display my body language every day, and it is something I have always done. Also, communication has played a key role in working on the LinkedIn assignments because I have had to research individuals from companies I support and have had to contact them to get future advice from. In my opinion, the most impressive find, I connected with Alan Cutter, the business representative that we read about in the Wall Street Journal who owns his own company, AC Lion. This leads me to my next point, the importance of reading the Wall Street Journal. I have understood the significance of reading this, and I thoroughly enjoy having a better knowledge of companies and what they are up to. It is very interesting reading about companies you have patronage to and see how they are doing amongst their competitors and how well and other important news they have. I have begun to read it on my own and find some articles fascinating and will continue to read it even after this class is over with. For the most part, I just read the world news, US news, and business sections of the Wall Street Journal, but I also look at the stocks occasionally. It is rare for someone my age to know so much about business, and my goal is to continue to read the Wall Street Journal every day and enhance my knowledge of the business world.